Oh, I actually can't concentrate. Alright, welcome to my After Effects class. Remember, this will be for basic effects, and also, if you guys need be, which I will actually even do, introduction to After Effects and the tools. So, what we're going to do is we're pretty much going to learn how to recreate my promo video that you've seen right now. Let's see it again just for fun, so you can see my beautiful face again. Now I just walk you through it.
Alright.
So, if you pretty much just noticed, this whole background is green screen. It's not even green screen, I just took it at the green wall, honestly. And yeah, green screen pretty much does is just, it cuts off that part and leaves it all as invisible. Like, you know about thumbnails, right? How thumbnails, the background will be invisible so you can put them in whatever graphic you want. And even, and also normal pictures, say like the normal square pictures, like here's an example, just to make life easier, waste some time. Okay, a picture of a clock. Like when we put this over, like save it, so you can get a good idea. Oh crap, I didn't even save the picture. Alright. Stable street. Photoshop. Good. You put it there, the white stuff will be there. You don't want these white stuff. Essentially, After Effects just cuts off all that white stuff. And how it does that is that it'll pick a color that largely contrasts with all the colors inside the background, and it'll just remove any color that is within a close range of that color. So colors like red, never use it because like our skin can match red, or even worse, white. I don't like, never use white, never ever. But it is possible to just, I won't say, it's not even called green screening, it's called rotoscoping, where you can take a video of me right now and then you can just delete my whole background. But that is a tedious effect, it will take hours, and it's only for very, very high production grade stuff. So, yeah. But if we have time, I could just go over a little bit of what it is. Another thing we'll learn would be this fire right here. And okay, so how many of you can tell me how many effects I put inside this little effect right here? I'll replay it again. You just tell me how many effects I put in. No. Anyone have any more ideas?
2.
No.
3.
No.
4.
They're just getting higher. But essentially more than 4.
4.
More than 4. No, that's too much. I'd say around 6. So the 6 effects are first this fire animation. Next, the smoke animation. Third is a masking animation. What is a masking animation? I'll get to that soon. Fourth will be, if you kind of notice, look at my face, and look at my face when the fire goes out. See that? You probably didn't notice that, but little things like that really help make all these special effects come to life. And also that one right here, this spark. And lastly, the last effect I use is called opacity, where things just fade away. See that? Just fades away. I mean, I could have made it like go that way, but we'll get to that another time. So 6 effects. Now you guys can have a little idea of how actually complex it is to put effects, because you can't just put a random fire right here. You need to also manipulate the environment. That's something that's something very key to special effects gurus. Because say this, like this light wouldn't be light if it doesn't like reflect on your hand, if it doesn't have say the slow lighting up, like it just doesn't like pop up like that. It'll slowly, gradually come up. There's so many characteristics that you have to play with in the environment to make an effect look real. And yeah, that's for the fire. There's more to that. You can even ask me, because I've always loved trying to recreate big budget screenings. Say making a door explode, and all of that could be effects. And just making a door explode, like that takes a lot of effects. Like I must say like 12 effects just to make the door explode. The next thing, the last thing, will be motion graphics. Whoop, like that. And also simple typography, things like that. Text typography, most simplest thing ever. And yeah, I'll teach you how. I'll teach you the basics on, believe it or not, these basics are what you will use to make all the complex effects in After Effects. By learning these basics, you can apply them in so many different ways. And trust me, like you will use these basics no matter what. No matter how complicated it is. Like you think you're gonna learn some abstract or a key technique, but no, you will use these basics for these effects. So, alright, let's get started. We are gonna get started with this effect, the fire effect. So, what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna load up After Effects. Alright, so for those who are new in After Effects, welcome to the After Effects workspace. Just like Premiere Pro, this is where you put all your media in, and I'm just gonna put my media. Wrong with it. That'll be me in a green screen. Yeah. Honestly, I just took a video of myself in a green background, and it's not even green screen. Like some people think the green screen is some complex material, or you need like a certain color that everyone needs. No, you just need some color that doesn't match whatever's on there. So essentially, you can even just dress yourself as a black knight and have a white wall, and that could be a green screen. Alright, so we put that there. And for the effects, we're going to use this firecracker for that little spark before the fire comes out. The fireball, which is that continuous flame, and the smoke, just to emulate the smoke rising up, of course fire. Oh, my bad, a sec. Actually that's not fire, my bad, that's another effect.
Do you want to specify where you got the...
Oh, yes, all these effects are from, they're all from a package called Video Copilot. It's epic After Effects, special effects bundle. It just gives you lots of material you can use. Things like gunshots, like all the flares. Things like this will be for, as I said, doors blowing. Debris, say like what chips getting out, and that helps you like emulate things like falling down from the roof, and also smoke. All essential things you need to make all these effects. Video Copilot. So video and Copilot, Copilot. And yeah, you can have a trial, or you can just download it right away if you have money. But it's a great package, and if you're interested in After Effects, like you should definitely go for it. Rather than going online and searching for free, royalty-free effects, like they're much better. Because another annoying thing about effects is that you want to find the right effect. Just finding this effect online, you want something like circular fireball, continuous, you gotta use so many key terms. Video Copilot just piles it up in simple words. They say you want to make a fireball, so fireball, okay, you smoke this, and it's all there for you. Alright, so...
But if you want to just try with
Sorry?
you just want to try separate stuff, there is free.
Yeah, but there are free versions. And as I said, you have the Video Copilot trial if you want. But alright, let's get started with that effect. So, we drag this down, this body piece right here, and there you have it, your first body right here. And just like Premiere Pro, this one will, this is your workspace. So your workspace is pretty much where you'll be editing and where playback will happen. What I mean by that, so this is what's gonna happen. Yeah, playback. Oh, and another thing about After Effects would be, it's not really a composition used for compositing sequences or rearranging sequences, because After Effects lowers all the graphics down. So whenever you want, so it makes work faster unless you have a high-grade computer. Also, putting effects, you can't always put high effects in, so essentially just load whatever's in your workspace, so you can play back. See that? It'll play back from that start and then there. You need this because rather than putting a bundle of effects and making them play all the time, that's gonna lag your computer. I mean, you can do it in here. You can set it so it'll always render all the time. But unless you have one hell of a graphics card, forget about that. Alright, so let's move on to the part where I put my hand up right there. Yeah. And this bar up here zooms in. Makes it easier to look at small animation. Alright, so you always want to target the spot of action. So there's always like a certain delay. So you don't want the spark to come right here. You want the spark to come before the hand lays down. So right there. So let's find the spark. And we will put it right on top. Now the thing about After Effects is that it has layering. And what do I mean by layering is, so if you put whatever's up top here, the effect will be right here, so you have to drag it right there. Kind of confuses people sometimes. Also, feel free to stop me if I'm explaining too fast, or if you don't understand anything. There's no shame in just telling me that I don't get anything. But just for a review, you guys all understand what I'm saying right now, right? Alright? Awesome. Alright, so that's the spot where you want to go. And it's just simple. I mean, you just position it right there. You see all the transformation guidelines. Resize it. Put it close right there. And another helpful tip that I recommend to you guys: command button on Apple, and the right direction key. They'll help you scrub through like per frame. So see, I can scrub through easy rather than just like carefully doing this. It's such an annoying method. So yeah, we simply hold command and keep tapping the button here, the right button. So you want to have it during right at this moment. Just position it right there. And bam, yeah, that's the firecracker. And after the firecracker, put in the flame. Remember about layering. Whatever's above will come up front. So just to give you an example, this fire. Yeah, I'll get to that soon. Let's go back to the place where the torch is, which is right behind. So you see that the firecracker is up top, so it'll be at the most front, and the torch is behind. And if you put the torch up front, it's going to be behind the torch is going to be above the firecracker. So that's what I mean by layering. So right at that moment, you wanna here's something annoying. So this effect, I actually didn't get it from Video Copilot because I couldn't find. Alright, so it comes in certain packages, and I couldn't really download like the full package. So I just found this online. And this one, yes, there will be this black screen above. What you only need to do is just you come to this mode right here, this mode, and you search for screen. And essentially, what screen does is just it takes anything that's black and removes it. So if you want to create your own special effect, just find a dark room or just find a dark wall and do whatever you want. You can say put a lighter there. You can even throw an axe up, and that'll be your own special effect, your own legit special effect. All you need to do is, as I said, go to this mode, click it, scroll down, and find screen. Remember, screen will just remove anything that's black. Alright? Alright. So, the firecracker right there, and when it disappears, that's where you want the torch to come in. And the torch, let's just resize it, put it right there. So the torch is, this animation, it's always blowing no matter what. And what you want to do is you want the torch to appear. So how do you make the torch appear? That is an attribute called opacity. Alright, so how many of you are familiar with attributes in After Effects? What I mean by attributes is this thing. When you click this triangle right here, you'll see all the transform attributes. Anyone familiar with this?
I know it from Premiere.
Alright, awesome. Yeah, scale, like resize that. Opacity, like that. And you're familiar to the keyframes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Only it's better here because you can actually see it. It's nicer too. And I'll give you a helpful tip. The hotkey for opacity is T. So you just press T and it'll drop down like that. So what we want is we want it to be just completely invisible here, and when it disappears, go all the way up to 100. You can replay that if you want. So this is what the effect will look like. So it gradually appears like that. Oop. Let's reposition that firecracker. Nice. Alright, and there you have it, the fireball right here. It's not looking nice because the background is a green screen, but we'll get to that right after this. So there you have it, your fire right there. And what's the fire missing? Smoke. Fire can't exist without the smoke puffing out of it. I mean, yeah, it's natural sense. So we put smoke inside it. And here you go, smoke. Just drag it here. And let's resize it so it'll go all the way up. So it'll look really rather strange if the smoke is, it just ends at a certain location. Alright, and we'll put the same opacity, the same effects. Another helpful tip would be, let's make this big so everyone can see everything. If you just click these two keyframes, or just copy all these two keyframes like this, and you Command C, which is essentially just copy, you can paste that effect right here. So it'll also have the effect where it'll gradually come up, the opacity. So that's a really helpful tip because sometimes you want to have the same effects and you don't want to just keep remaking that effect. So simply just highlight that keyframe, copy it, and paste it here. Simple as that, alright? And there you have it, smoke's coming out. But, alright, we haven't done two effects yet, but there's another effect that I not actually mentioned, and I'm just gonna ask you guys, can you guys see what's weird with the smoke? Don't say the color. The color is weird because the background is weird. But can anyone say what seems weird and unnatural about the smoke? What?
The bottom edge is hard.
Yeah, there you go. Nice. The bottom edge is hard because it's right at the end of the keyframe. At the end of the composition. So, another thing that I will teach you would be masking. What is masking? Masking is essentially just cutting the video, and masking is such a powerful tool because, let me just show you masking first. So all you need to do is click the pen tool and make sure you're in the layer where you want to mask, which is smoke, and essentially you just, alright, everyone's familiar with the pen tool, right? Right? You guys know how the pen tool works. I mean, I can explain it if someone
What
doesn't
is
know.
it, basically?
Sorry?
What is it, basically?
Have you worked with Photoshop before?
A little bit.
Okay, well the pen tool is in Photoshop, and what it does is just that it traces, it draws a line, but draws a line through points. So you see, I'll click this, and then this will be like a line.
Okay.
and then it'll always come to a stop right there when you click the final edge. That's the pen tool. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the line right here, and what you want to do is you want to hold it before you click it. So that way you can do this. This is what you can do with the pen tool. See that? And you're going to click outside and come back right there. And let's zoom in. See that? It's cut. It's softer. And what you just did, and what I just did, is I made a mask. But it still looks rough because, see that? It just looks like a curve right there. It's not natural. And that is where another important effect will come in, which is called feathering. So feathering, all you need to do is you go to, so when you click this triangle button, you'll see all the attributes, and this time you have a new attribute, which is the mask. And you click the triangle to mask, go all the way down, and find feather. And feather will pretty much soften the edges. So look carefully and see how the edge is softened. It's quite difficult to see, but alright. Well, I guess that's quite difficult to see, but essentially, yeah, it's no longer just a very noticeable curve. It's now feathered. It's now softer. It's rather than the really large curve. But that's what feathers do. Just gonna increase the feather a bit. But if you guys want to see a better illustration, I guess I'll mask out this whole composition, this video of mine. So I'll show you right now. So all I want is just me right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go right here. And here. See that? It cuts off all that. This black background is just like the empty space in After Effects. And now I'm gonna feather it. And this is what's gonna happen. See that? It softens the edges. So it even looks like I'm in a dark dungeon. It's a fun effect. That's another thing. These tools that I'm teaching you can use it for so many things. You can make it look as if you're inside a dungeon, and make it affect you're in a dark room. And yes, as I said, all these tools, you will use it for almost every effect there is on After Effects. Alright, so we're done with that. We feathered that. And now we're going to do the fun part, which is putting the light on my face. So how do you do that? We can do it the hard way, which is color balance as the part of your face. But we're going to take it the easier way. And this is called adding. So what is adding? What you adding is it's gonna be pretty hard for me to explain, but just stop me whenever it looks too weird. But essentially what I'm doing is that I'm gonna duplicate this. So when you duplicate, you can do it the simple way, which is right click and duplicate it. Or you can do the easier way, which is just Command D. Command D duplicates that image, that composition. And when you go to mode and you click add, it does this. So, what is this? The best way to explain is, let's see if I have it. Okay, there you go. Can I take, do you have like a piece of paper actually?
Huh?
Do you have a piece of paper? Okay, let me borrow this. Okay, actually this works. Bro. Bro. Let's see if it works. Or do you have paper kid? Just paper? Normal paper? Bro. Come on, let's find paper. It's like the best.
Okay,
There you go. Here, I got it. Nice. So, right. I'm gonna take my flashlight. So say that you have one layer here, and you have this other layer behind. Take your flashlight. Oh, it's opaque. Right. Essentially, this is what it does. You see what it did there? There's one layer here. You put another layer there, so you can see through that layer, and the color changes. That's what adding does. Wow, I made such a good example. All right. Thank you. So, essentially, if I just lower down the opacity of this layer, I'll come back to the original color. See that? And this is why I taught you masking first, because what I'm going to do with masking is that I am just going to mask certain parts of the layer, so it'll just appear bright only on certain parts of my body, which is my face and my fingers. So here's what's going to happen. That, and that. See that? Only that part of my face is bright. I'm going to do my fingers too. Bam. There you have it. So you also want to feather it. Feather both of them. So because you have two masks right here. Make it softer. The hotkey for feather is F. So when you're right there, just press F. And there you have it. It's feathered. Only those spots. Don't worry about the spaces behind. They're all gonna go away once I green screen the image. But for now, just imagine that there's like nothing behind me, and the light is only right on my face. So of course, it'll come up right there. Another thing that we'll have to do is we'll have to make sure this thing appears only when the spark comes out, and that's where we have the that's where we have the spark effect, which is using opacity. So we're going to key this opacity. Start from 0. And that's where the fire comes out. I'll do the 100%. So this actually not 100%, sorry about that. Only at 50. Around 50. Don't want to make it too jarring, so it won't be like an effect. So this is what it look like. And as you all guessed, when I flick it away, that's when you just put opacity and opacity all of this. So you can actually do this. This is you hold shift so you can select all of it. You can select all of the layers, and then remember about hotkeys. You press T for all the opacity. Essentially, you want to click this first, so you can input a layer. A keyframe, and as it goes down there, put all to 0. See that? It follows all the other frames, so it makes it easier for it to disappear. So let's see it all. Yeah, simple as that. Alright, let's get rid of my beautiful background. Ready for green screen, guys? Alright, I love the enthusiasm. Alright, so green screen is really, really simple. It doesn't take a genius. Why? Let me show you. We are going to green screen this beautiful picture I will show you. Let's put it on top first. And let's make sure it fits the full frame. Beautiful. And remember about layering of what comes first. So you want this all the way behind. Alright, so how do we cut all this behind and make it go away? It's very simple. All you need to do is you go to effects. This is the workspace for effects. All the effects we need are right here. And what you want to find is something called key light. And to put an effect, it'll be the same as Premiere Pro. You just drag it and put it to the layer. And sometimes there's going to be tons of other random layers, so you just put it right here, right where you want it to be. Alright, and what you do now is you simply take this eyedropper, and you pick the most jarring color, and say like what looks the brightest. Well, it all looks the same because this actually looks nice. Oh, another tip about green screening is that never ever be too close to the green screen or wall, because shadows will happen and that messes up with your green screen. So yeah, shadows mess up. We just want a whole wall that has a jarring color. So, and we want one color only, or at best everything looks similar to that color. Like we don't want green and suddenly just fades a bit on the edge. We don't want that. Never do that. It makes editor's lives harder. So you just pick that color, and bam, green screen. But that is not it. That is not it. There's still more you need to do, and that is to make sure that everything looks clean. You want to go to this view and find screen map. And you see this? All this is all the parts that are not quite green screen. What I mean by that is that it's still rather transparent. In here you probably won't see it. So I'm going to put the final result. In here you probably won't see it, but put it up on a big HD TV, or on a big Cineplex. They will see it. Because when things are stretched up, you will start seeing things. I mean, all the slightest details and effects. So you want to be perfect. So you go to screen map and look at all these bits and pieces right here. And essentially all you need to do is just click this, not screen, click this. Oh, sorry, I keep getting confused with that. Click the screen map right down here, screen map right here. And you're going to play with just these two, clip black and clip white. And what you're going to do is you just want to get rid of all this white spot in the black part, and also all the black parts in the white part. You see that? My glasses are not green screen. So they'll be transparent every time I walk around. So you're just playing around with it. See that? Until it all disappears. Another helpful tip, if you hold command, so what I'm doing with this one is that I'm just like clicking it, holding it so it'll just move around. But if you hold command and move it around, it'll move at smaller numbers, yeah? Like probably 0.1 decimal every time. So everything's gone. And don't ever forget to scrub. Look everywhere and see if there's another spot that looks white. Look at every spot. It's bigger. Just scrub through everything and see if anything looks white or anything in the black background or anything else. You see that? See this? It's probably hard to see, but this is actually pretty. There's some black dust right here, or black grain, and we want to get rid of that. How do you do that? You play with click white. Drag it down so it's all white. And my glasses is still there. So get rid of my glasses. Get out. Get out. And there you go. It's all gone. Let's just look at everything. Make sure everything's all good. Oh, there you go. Still some spot up there. Raise it up. Ground, 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 and beautiful. Then we just go to the final result, and it's all done. Also, okay, this black, this green part behind, that's still from this one because I still haven't put in the key light effect. But as I said, pasting effects is as simple as copying this, clicking the layer, and just Command V and paste it. It's all gone. And now let's see that effect and how it looks now. Yeah. Nice and smooth. Skip those. Nice and smooth. Like all the elements coming into play. Slowly all fading away. There you have it. That is green screening. Simple. Anyone want me to explain anything again? No? Go ahead.
I'm just wondering if you're doing the green screening process and you're looking at the like black white clip, but you can't get, there's like certain like small bits that you can't quite get out maybe from the green screen. Is there a way to like use essentially an eraser tool to like actually scrub it off?
No.
No, you have to use the.
There is another technique, it's called masking it out. So remember what I said, masking will mask whatever is that composition, that video, to make it disappear. So remember that right now whatever is in the green screen is just me right here, and sometimes there's something annoying, say like I don't know, Sina's face is right here, you don't want to see it. So essentially all you need to do is just click this mask tool, and you just remember, also don't forget to click the layer that you want to use the mask tool on. So use mask tool and just simply mask it out. See that? It'll only appear right there. Alright? Another helpful tip would be, this is very fun because with this you can do so much with this. You can actually move masks. So what do I mean by that? So we want my head right here. Let's just get my head. Beautiful. It's feathered so it looks nicer. Okay, beautiful. My face right there. And you see, as you move, I'm gonna like it's all gonna like move around, and my head's gonna move to a different angle. See that? See that? So, how do we fix that? Simple. We make the mask move as I move. So how do we do that? We go to the mask right here, and you're familiar with Premiere Pro, the positioning, right? We can do that here too with masks. So let's find a position, mask. It won't be positioned in mask, it'll be called mask path, and mask path will just move the whole mask. So my head's gonna go there. A really detailed After Effects guru would always take their time and slowly scrub. So, and as they move all these little things right here. So you move it all the way here, right? Oops. So it's gonna like look here, and you just move it there. Yeah, let's see what that looks like. It's beautiful. Oh, you see that? There's my finger right there. Appears. See my finger right there? It just slightly appears right there. So what you can do is you can pretty much, before that finger comes in, just simply hold shift, and when you hold shift and click it, you will modify the path, the mask. So you won't move it, but you will only move a certain part, which is that little dot right there. There you go. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Lastly, what you can do with this is, has everyone? Do you guys know VFX Bro? Alright, so VFX Bro is they're pretty fun. People keep thinking, so what they do is they have like a doll of Ted moving around and dancing, and that looks really awesome, and it looks 3D, but it's not. It's actually a real life doll. They're actually puppeteering that doll. They're using like threads, very thin threads, And what they pretty much do is that there'll be someone from a high ground, and they're gonna be doing that, and then they just mask the person away. So the doll will move right here, and it'll seem like nobody's playing around with it. It looks 3D, it looks awesome, and that's just a neat trick you can do with After Effects. All right, and as I said, all these tools you can use it so many ways. Let's delete my layer, and we'll go through the motion graphics, just the last part and the easiest part. All right, let's find the part where I put my hand up. Come on, are you hand? There you go. Motion graphics is as the simplest of them all, I must say. So let's go find that. Let's say a scroll. Put it in the project. Then, and let's find the moment where I put my hand up. So just scroll through it. Oh, I didn't even reach up there. So all I need to do is just make this bigger. Yeah, all I'm doing is I'm just making this bigger so my hand reaches the top of this thing. Like that. Alright, and we just put the scroll right here. Remember about the layering, we want to put it right up front. And zoom out, and we'll put it right up here. Actually, just to make things even fun, remember that right now what you see, there are 4 layers. The background, me, and oh, 1, 2, 3, fail. 3 layers. The background, me, and the scroll right here. And just to make things fun, we want to put the scroll behind me. So it looks like I'm reaching the back part, pinching it out. Little tricks like that make everything appear much more realistic. Alright, and it's as simple as doing the Premiere Pro modifications. We find the position attribute, but first of all, we want to make this. I want to see the end product, which is like right here. So it should be positioned right here. I'm just making it bigger. And don't worry about it looking like it's low graphic, all these little disgusting spots. After Effects does this on purpose, so everything runs fast. When you render it, it'll look it'll look clear. So don't worry about that. When you're playing with motion graphics in your first part, you export it there. It looks very low graphic. It won't be. All right. So it's as simple as you go to the positioning attribute and just modify it. As my hand goes down, remember Command left and Command right, and you will see your hand go down. My hand go down. And you follow it, drag it down, keep following it, but follow it in micro bits. So, because you can see like there's a big change in speed in which my hand goes down. And we can't really just, normally what people think they can do is they can just find where my hand finally goes down and just put it right down there. That won't work, because this will happen. See that? See that? So, the smart way to do it is you just go through every frame. It's tedious, but that is how you do it. You go through every frame. Every frame. I'm not gonna do every frame like right now because it's gonna take a long time. But every frame, keep going down. Probably every 2. Right when you can see a big change, go down. Big change, go down. Big change, go down. Change, go down. Goes up. And let's see what it looks like. Oh, another thing about motion graphics and playing around with objects, making it move, is that you want to animate it in a way that it obeys the laws of physics. So paper, when you pretty much put it down, say like that paper. Thank you. This is such a useful resource. When you pretty much want to put it down, it doesn't just like that, right? It bounces. It bounces like that. So what I pretty much do is just I give it a little recoil. Making it move, jump, just slightly spike up a bit. Jump up a bit. Like that. And jump, bounce back down. Alright, let's see what happens. And if anyone's wondering how I'm playing it, it's Control 0. Control 0 is pretty much this thing right here, where you see the preview of everything in good graphics. Whoop, like that. See that? Much more smoother and much nicer. And that's what you pretty much do with most effects. You go through every frame, say special effects, say the Kamehameha from Dragon Ball. Like when you're doing like that, you follow every frame, make sure the ball goes, stays inside the hand, because speed is not, I don't know, this is bad what I'm saying in physics. Speed is not linear, it's curved. I'm not doing like that, it'll go faster.
Acceleration.
Acceleration! There you go. So acceleration. And lastly, the text. Simple as putting it here. Say hi. Oh, I did not. I did not expect. That nobody saw anything. You edit that out of the clip, man. Mask it out. I thought you masking. Mask it out. Alright. Okay, so we go to effects, and here's the fun part. There are lots of effects for text. It's just like a Premiere Pro. You just find the effect. Oh, sorry, it'll be an animation, presets, and text, and you find all these fun effects. Animating in, you can put it simple spiral. Well, you guys get the gist. So it'll animate in spiral like that. All these animations right here for you to just find, and it'll be helpful. But the fun thing about After Effects is that all these animations not only apply to text, it also applies to videos. So, say let's find I shot you not. Even I still haven't memorized every effect because there's just so much, and sometimes you only need a few effects. So let's just put an effect on, say, me. I'm gonna put night vision effect. Drag it to my layer, and there you go. See that? So many things can play around. Crack tiles. Put crack tiles in me. There you go. And the fun part of these effects is that you can play with the keyframes. And the keyframes, say, what I just love to do, you put an effect in, you look at the effects panel, which is this place right here, and you look at what every attribute does. You see this? And this one like kind of warps me in, warps me out. And remember about keyframing, where you click this, essentially puts a keyframe there, and you go to another spot here, and you put it at 100%, and you just play that right there, play that scene right there, and there you have it. There's all these little attributes you can play around with it, and yeah, there you have it. It is 6 o'clock, and all the basic
Is
things
anyone
you need to
more
do.
leaning towards Apple products, Final Cut? Yeah. If anyone, these are the general concepts that can also be applied to Final Cut.
No. Oh.
Like keying, basic keying.
Oh, basic keying, yeah. You can do keying, but it's not as
Like
rich.
you can do the
All
keying,
the attributes.
rendering, like the basic stuff.
I mean, After Effects, you pretty much just put it there, and there are a few attributes you can play on here, but After Effects, there's so many more attributes,
Yeah.
and it makes it much more detailed.
It's
I
just
see.
the basic concept. If you understand the layering, the masking and everything, once you get a grasp of those basic concepts, then it's just a matter of playing.
Yep, that's it. And yeah, as I said, you can use a lot of these, what I just taught you in everything. Say, remember the fire effect? It's gone. Yeah, the fire effect, let's kill this crap that effect.
Any questions about it?
Yeah, just lastly, you can play around. This effect, where there's light shining on your face, where there's fire smoke, that is pretty much the same technique people use for gunshots. And I said, I'm not kidding about how actually rather complex it is just to put like certain gunshots every time. So when you do like this, you'll have to like put the flare and the smoke here and everything else lighting up. Then the gun will move here. You're gonna put the flare, you're gonna put the smoke, and this time the light changes. You can't just have the light on your face, you'll have it slowly moving here, here, here. All that. That is After Effects, and that's all the things I taught you.
Alright, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for coming in, guys.